Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is a full body flexibility yoga practice. I am going to use a few props. So I've got a strap to make my arms longer, and I'm going to lay on 2 blocks. You can lay on something softer though. Find some space to move, and let's get started. So we will begin today laying down. If you've got a strap, you can have that off to the side. But I'm going to lay on my blocks. One under my head and one under my upper back. But find your way down. If you're going to lay on anything at all, just take your time so you feel somewhat comfortable, somewhat supported. And give your back a chance to get used to whatever it is laying on as well. You can bring your arms out wide. Let your palms face out. And maybe wiggle your fingers a few times, stretching through your hands. And maybe just notice what is underneath you. And melt into it a little bit more, even if it's a nice hard block. You can decide what you would like to do with your legs. You might just keep the knees bent and the feet planted. If you want to get into your hips while we're here and it's comfortable to do so, you could make a diamond shape with your legs. But let's close our eyes if you haven't already. Take a slow breath in and out. Just give yourself permission to slow down your day, your week. Give your shoulders a chance to soften. Your chest, your belly. Even through your hips and legs. As we begin to move, you start by just wiggling your toe, noticing your feet. If your knees are out wide, help them come back together so that your feet are planted on the ground again. And you check in with your back and whatever you might be laying on. And then just sliding your arms in a little bit closer so that we can sit up just to take whatever might be under you out and off to the sides. And we can lay back down flat on our backs. Or you might hug your knees in to your chest. And rock or sway side to side just to massage your back against the ground. And notice any sensations that are already flowing through you. We're going to be coming up onto our hands and knees. You can roll over. You can rock yourself forwards. But since I've got blocks to use today, I'm going to have them close by, just at the top of my mat, just to hold on to. Also, strap. If you've got something to make your arms longer, you may or may not use it. But we're going to start in tabletop. Give your hips a gentle sway side to side, maybe even the shoulders. Our right foot is going to be making its way forwards for a lunge. You can roll your mat over if you need some extra cushion under your back knee. You can also leave your right foot in the middle of your mat, or you can heel toe it over to the right side. So you are in a lizard lunge. Now, if you've got blocks to use, you might hold on to them. You might use nothing at all, but sinking the hips into the ground. So you can stay on your hands. You could lower to the forearms and just sinking the hips down. Feeling that right glute and hip, that left hip flexor and quad if you're lucky. But we can also make sure that we find that left hip flexor and quad by lifting up the back foot and reaching for it. So you can use your strap to make your arm longer. If you can't reach it with your right hand, just hook it around your foot and bring your heel a little closer to your glutes. And still sinking your hips down. If you did lift your back foot, nice and gentle and slow, bring it back down. And you can climb back up onto your hands too. You can either heel toe your foot back to the middle and then bring your knee back to your tabletop, or you can go straight there to shake out the hips, maybe even the shoulders. And then we'll be setting up our lunge with our left foot forwards. Now you can keep the foot in the middle of the mat. You could go straight into the lizard lunge with your foot on the left edge. But just level out the hips, the shoulders. Sink the hips down into the ground. Maybe roll your mat over if your back knee needs some extra cushion. And then you can stay on your hands, maybe holding on to something, maybe nothing. But you can also lower to your forearms. And just notice what you feel through your left hip and your right. And if you want to find some more sensation through the right side, that quad, you can start to lift your foot and reach back with the left hand, using the strap or not. Still sinking the hips down. Awesome work, you guys. If you have your foot lifted, slowly lower it. Climb back up onto your hands and also all the way back to tabletop, where you can sway your hips side to side, maybe even the shoulders. And then again, since I have my blocks today, I'm going to use them. We're going to do our puppy dog stretch. You could rest your hands against a wall, on top of a chair, a table, or anything at all, or on actual blocks. Or you can rest your hands just on the ground, reaching your arms forwards from your knees, lengthening through the arms and letting the chest get heavy, the head, the forehead, try to find the ground. And if your hands are resting on something, your elbows will stay lifted too. If your hands are on the ground, your elbows will be on the ground. Take another breath here. And then use an inhale to lift. Bring your hands back to the ground, maybe swaying, rolling the shoulders, eventually sitting down though, with our legs in front of us. And you can move your blocks off to the side if they're on your mat, giving your knees a nice hug or squeeze. And then let's send our legs long. If you've got a strap to use today, you could hook it onto the feet. You can start with the knees nice and bent, pointing the toes up and just long and strong through your spine. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, you can start to tip forwards. So you take a few breaths, your legs might get a little bit straighter, a little bit longer. And again, just because I have a block to use today, if you want to go a little bit further, you could place it on the bottom of your feet and hold on to your block, making your arms longer in a different sort of way. Let's stay for another breath or two. And using a nice inhale to lift back up, hug your knees back in. And then let's lay down on our backs again. So no blocks this time for sure. No straps even as well. Move everything off to the side and lay flat on your back. We are going to keep the knees bent and the feet planted and just take our left hand and tuck it underneath the back. So palm facing down, your elbows bending, pointing out to the sides. You can leave the knees pointing up, or you can tip them over to the left. Starting to feel the shoulder, the arm, and just tipping the knees over as much as you need to feel a stretch there. And if you feel like you've gone a little bit too far, you're feeling too much, just bring your knees back up a bit. But not here very long. So if you still have your knees tipped to the side, you can start to lift them back up, slowly, slowly. And slide your left hand out from under you. You can take as much of a break as you need between sides. Your right hand will be making its way under your back, though, with the palm facing down. Bending the elbow, pointing the elbow out to the side. And maybe you don't even have to tip your knees over, but maybe you do. Just enough to find that nice stretch through the shoulder, through the arm. And you can start to bring the knees back up if they're off to the side. Taking your hand out from under you. And a moment to notice your shoulders. Maybe they're feeling nice and heavy. But if you'd like to hug your knees to your chest one last time, you could reach for your feet. Bring the knees wide, the feet wide for happy baby. You can even sway side to side here. Letting your feet come back together. And then the knees too. And bring your feet all the way down to the ground. Where you can slide your legs long and wide. And rest your arms at your sides, maybe letting your palms face up. Let your arms start to get nice and heavy. Same with your leg. You let your entire body melt into the ground. And as always, I encourage you to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you have time for. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, though. And until next time, namaste.